So today we're going to do a front hit of, which is our design called the Jersey Pride. So when it lines up, it looks something like that. This right here, we do have one registration piece down already. There is another one back here because, again, this is going to be two different screens. So for starters, normally your t-shirt, there is a dotted line on here. This is for the 17-inch pallet. It's going to be right here, there's that dotted line. So that's going to be a small shirt. If you have an oversized shirt, meaning double XL, triple XL, anything bigger than that, there's going to be a line up here. It's going to show you for a bigger shirt. Generally, again, we only do smaller shirts, so we're not going to really be using that one. This box right here, it says it right here, left chest, although it's on the right-hand side, because when you put your screen on there, it's then going to be on the opposite side. So we want to first start with our inner layer, and then this one will go on top. So generally you want to go in this box. It already has a mark set up for you, so you're going to put this here. It does seem a little high. With this design, I tend to go over a little bit, so I'm going to take it over to this line. So I go over 1 inch because every box here is 1 inch by 1 inch. So from this line, I like to go over 1 inch, and then I just drag it up in ½ an inch right onto this line, just so I know that my registration points are going to be exact. Meanwhile, this bottom one is going to be lined up right here. So it may seem like it's off the pocket a little bit, but when we're using our screens, you'll notice that it'll be perfectly like right on the 3-inch mark of the screen there. So just give me 1 second. I'm going to tape that down, and then we'll get started on putting it on the screen. So we're going to go over and up. And again, I tend to fold these little flaps in. I like to give it a little flap so that when you're touching it, it's not even sticky on there anymore. Pull this up. You're going to want to make sure it's taped down fairly well in the corners. Again, I do that to all of them. Fold it a little bit. Meanwhile, you want to make sure you hold this so that your registration marks are right there in the center. And we have one last piece. Alrighty, and now that is the first set that is down. So after that set's down, we're now going to put one of these on top of here. There's already one filmed one on there. It has this tape to it. I then need one more to go on top of that for my other set. So that's how I'm going to come out with this one. It's going to go right on top of there, and you'll notice they'll line back up. Just 1 second, and I can take that one down for you as well. Same spots right on the corners. And boom. So now you have both of them on there, and now they're ready to go. Okay. And generally you're going to use 4 pieces of tape for all this. Nothing really more. It should stay and stick fairly well with that. So we're going to take this again and fold the edges. Tend to fold them a little bit. And you're only going to want to pick up the first one here because again there is 2. We are doing a 2-color hit. So you're going to set it about, I tend to go right here on the edge of this registration marker, and then I just make sure it's secure down. So make sure it's like right on the edge of this thing right here. Show you with this piece right here. Again, you want to pull up one and only. I go roughly down here, and I stick it in. And we're going to fold this one. Again, the same thing on this side. And there we go. So now that that's on, this screen is going to be a 200 mesh. We marked this one. You're going to want to make sure it hits the bumper stops right in here. This again has 2 bumper stops like we went over on the registration marker, and you're going to want to slide it over to this knot right here. This knot is going to lock it in so that you're 3 inches over. See, if you look right here on the screen, you notice before if I would have used it over here, it would have been a little bit too close to the edge. So therefore we want to bring it over and bring it up a little bit so it's kind of centered in that screen right there. You then just make sure this is tight down. You're going to want to just put that tape on there. You can grab the tape, pull it upwards towards you, and you want to just stick it right onto the frame. Again, you notice I left that little flap so I can take it off later with these, so it's not really stuck on there. Again, you're going to want to pull this side. This one has a flap. So now you want to grab it from the top, and again, we only want to take the first one. We want to leave the second one there. We just want to take this one off by popping those off, and boom. So you have your first one there, your second one is still set down there.